Alright guys, kind of a different video today. We also do a lot of reloading here in the household, and I'm about to have surgery on my left foot for the second time, so I'm going to be laid up for 4 to 6 weeks, I guess. So I'm starting to get back into like the heavy duty reloading and figuring stuff out again. So we got a couple little things down here. One thing I just found out is I've had this Lee app press for a minute. I think I got it when it first came out, but in all honesty, between the Jeep stuff and off-roading, I just kind of haven't been heavily involved in the reloading like I used to be. But one thing I was doing tonight, I was kind of messing around, and I also have one of the Pro 1000s, I think they are, and these guys have a case feeder very similar to this, and this kind of just bolts in here, and you get different ones. I have several different ones set up for like 223 or 45, 9mm, whatever you're reloading, and you set them to the height, and I Loctite them so that way I can just interchange them. Makes life quick and easy, down and dirty. The app press used a feeder with a single tube like this. Now this tube would go into the Lee block. Looks like this. This would sit down in here, and you get a single stack of whatever brass you're trying to process. The app press is mostly for decapping. You can resize pistol and stuff like that. Not recommended for bottleneck cartridges. But I mean, this was always like cool, you know, it worked. But it was just a single tube. You get like 20, 23, 25, depending on the caliper in here, and then you gotta stop and refill it. There's things you can buy for the top of it, like a hat that fills it up and stuff like that. But these guys, like I said, for the Pro 1000, they're kind of neat. It's the same concept. It's just 4 tubes. So this guy works on a little ball bearing mechanism, and you just turn this, and I'll show you that in a second. So I'm down here messing around, and I started thinking, well, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could put this on the app press? And I started looking, and when you Lee, love those guys. They overthink and underthink at the same time. But anyway, they happen to make the spacing for that bolt. I'm going to focus. That bolt and where it feeds through is the exact same spacing as where the bolt for this and the feed goes for the block on the app press. So what I did was I stacked them. I took the app press block, which is here, which looks like this, like that for your different calibers, and I took this guy and I stacked it on top. Now I haven't seen this done online. Maybe it's already been done. People talk about, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been to heavy reloading for a minute. But what you got to do is, if you do that, let me get around here, is you stack them. So right here is the bolt that goes through. There's a nut underneath clamping these guys together, and then hopefully you see this. There's a jam nut that I did to make this block the correct height with no wobble, that jammed it between this and the nut above it. Sorry for the furnace, guys. And then this nut jammed this with the original block, and that all jammed on the app press together. So what that allows you to do, I hope the furnace isn't too loud for all this. So you can go down, you can run your app press. These already don't have the these don't have the primers in them. I'll find that one. And these have already been resized. This is just kind of like experimenting, messing around. Well, I'm gonna try this before the furnace kicks on hot and heavy and loud like. But as you can see, you move these guys through, and then instead of trying to refill a single tube, when you're in out, you just take this guy and flip her. And bam. Doing this way, I get about 96 cases through before I need to refill my tubes, which is like a perfect break time, if you know what I'm saying.